What's up, everyone? It's day 96. It's been 51 days since the last video update on the athlete nutrition plan. And you're probably wondering why it looks like I've been hit by a UFC fighter. Well, I have shingles, and it has not been fun. So it's been about 2 weeks now. And for most people, when shingles breaks out, it's a virus. It's the chicken pox virus. I had it as a kid. I know a lot of kids now have gotten the vaccine, and most of us my age have gotten chicken pox. So it's just a reemergence of it. It happens one out of 3 adults I learned it happens to. So I happen to be one of those. Usually it starts in the midsection, and then it spreads from there. In my case, it actually hit some nerves in my face. It's called the trigeminal nerve, and it's actually 3 main nerves. One goes along the jawbone here, one across the mandible and the nose, and then of course the third one here in the eye. And it definitely affects nerve function in those areas. It manifests itself in swelling, and as you can see, blisters, and it has not been fun. It takes the energy out of you. I've been pretty lethargic, and I'm feeling pretty good, so I don't think I have it that bad. But let's get right back into nutrition. So this is a great segue into overcoming some obstacles and challenges, especially as an athlete, in our training, in our nutrition, in our sleep, in our ability to recover. We talk a lot about recovery, and this is one of those things where I just have to go with it. Now, of course, this is a week before the first U.S. National Series for Spartan. But again, it's a challenge. It's something I have to work with. I'll have to adapt. I'll have to modify things a little bit. The most important thing is to be open to that and understanding of that. I could certainly just feel sorry for myself and, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. And I've been there, so I know exactly what that feels like. However, what I've found is that by continuing to have a positive attitude about it, looking for solutions, being solution-focused versus problem-focused, you see, we're going to get more of what we focus on in our lives. So if we're focusing if I'm focusing on this and how it's holding me back from doing things, that's not doing me any good. But if I'm focused on, hey, I understand I have this, I need to do everything now to take care of this for the long term. I have a long season in front of me. The Spartan race season lasts from races start at the beginning of January. It goes all the way through the World Championships in the beginning of December, which, by the way, in 2020 here this year will be held in Abu Dhabi, of all places. So hopefully I'll qualify and have the opportunity to go out there. There's a lot of things that need to happen to make that happen. But let's get right back into nutrition. Fell off the wagon, shall we say. We had a vacation to California, which was great. Took some time off there. It's hard to keep things going when you don't have a plan going into vacation, or you don't have a plan when things get off track, right? I know meal planning is definitely a big challenge of mine. So being able to do that will be a huge help in having the food right there for me. Other than that, we're getting back on things. I met with Matt last week, which would have been, February 7th. And my weight was at 103.6. I'll have all this data down below as well. What was pretty cool is that my percent body fat was at 14.8. And even though it really been probably about a month, now I'm not saying when I fell off my nutrition plan that I was eating cheeseburgers and pizza and drinking beer all the time. Now, I was doing that in moderation. However, it was off of the actual plan that Matt put together for me, which Matt can't give me accurate assessments of things based on what he's telling me if I'm not doing that. And I know I've talked about that before in previous video. But my body fat percentage is at 14.8 as of, just 4 or 5 days ago. And I started at 16.4. Now it's bounced around, but it hasn't bounced around significantly. Okay. It's always been within 1 or 2. Whoops, I'm looking in the wrong place. It's always been between 1 and 2, about 4%. So it actually has wavered but once I hit that 16.4 allowed me to know, hey, we're going to get some work. So 14.8, not too bad. I'm not disappointed, which was cool because I was expecting to get this horrible in-body scan and, feel sorry for myself, which we talked about doesn't do us any good, and actually came out pretty well. So I'm pretty stoked with that. This is certainly holding me back. As you can see, it affected my eye. It started in my mouth, so If anybody's, in your late 40s, early 50s, they actually, at 50, they suggest getting a shingles vaccine. As I mentioned before, it's just another version of the chicken pox for adults. And that's where we're at. So it's one of those things. We're almost at day 100. We've put in some work. We need to work on some other things as well. Thank you, Matt, for all the time you've put in with me. And I'll look forward to keeping you guys updated on how this plan is going. Thanks for watching.